Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you on a new release close-up with the Crafters Workshop. So this is the Crafters Workshop 2019 winter release. Now each release comes with 12 by 12 stencils, but there are also 6 by 6 stencils in the exact same design. So whether you are more of a journaler, a scrapbooker, a card maker, whatever your paper craft is of choice, there's a stencil for you. Now, another great thing about the Crafters Workshop stencils is they are all labeled. You know exactly what stencil you're working with, so if you ever run out of ideas, go to that little number right there in the corner. It is a little raised area. You can feel it. You'll be able to see it. And then you can go to the Crafters Workshop blog. Now, right in the top right-hand corner, there is a little search bar. You can type in TCW and then the number of the stencil that was on there. The 6 by 6 stencils are going to have the S. Just leave that off. It's all going to be the same. But then on the blog, when you search that, the design team members' projects with that stencil will go ahead and pop up. So you've got journaling pages, you've got home decor projects you can look up, you've got card making, paper crafting, all those great things. So I looked up the leaf collection stencil, which I've done a lot of things with, so I knew there would be projects with this one. But you can see so many other projects from the design team members, so you're never going to run out of ideas. You're also going to find the 6 by 6 versions and the 12 by 12 versions in those projects. You can scale up, you can scale down, it's up to you, but it's there for inspiration. All right, on to the stencils. The first one I want to share with you is number 859, and this is called Fuchsia. This is a gorgeous stencil that you can use to make some scenes, which I just did a video on. It would be so easy to do a nice blue, very light blue background and color in the flowers with different colors and something like that, or you can use this for a great background on your projects. Put some paste through it, really fun. The next one is another flower one. It is 860 and it is called Lavender. This is a gorgeous stencil. It's got some really great details in there, and I actually just about used this one on one of my scene making projects, but I want to save it because I think those flowers are going to make a great textured background. Some white on white, even doing a very light purple and light green, very subtle background. I think that would be gorgeous for this one. On to the next stencil. This one is so great for the scene making. This is Happy Dandelions. It's number 861. Now, this says dandelions, but I could see these being some great mums for fall, coloring in those butterflies with different colors, ink blending those on a background. So pretty. And just using those tiny little different brushes that you get in that blending set, you could make some really great blends on those. Now, this is a stencil I have used. I have not shared the card yet. It's going to be on the Imagine channel, but this is the Maidenhair Fern. This is one of those stencils that is going to be very versatile for backgrounds and adding texture. So I can't show you the whole card yet, but I can show you what this stencil looks like with a little bit of gold modeling paste through it. It is stunning and it's perfect for a nice subtle background that doesn't overtake anything. So I love this one. It's one of those versatile ones that's going to be so useful. The next one is my personal favorite because it has sunflowers on it. It is called Sunflower Meadow. I have used this one too. I'll leave that video linked down below. It's all about scene making with the Crafters Workshop stencils. They have a ton of stencils that are perfect for this technique, but this is one of my favorites. I would really like to use just the sunflowers too on this, not even the stems or anything, and create a nice background with just the sunflowers. Mask off those leaves and stuff for another way to use the stencil. But here's a look at the card I previously did in a video, which I will leave linked down below, making a scene with the stencil, which is super easy. On to the next stencil. This one is number 864 and it is called Irises. I love all the florals that are happening in this release. This is one that's going to be gorgeous for sympathy cards, I think. It's very gorgeous, very true to life. I just think it's one of those ones that's going to be perfect to do a nice subtle background with this flower, do some ink blending, you could do some paints on it, and then add a nice sympathy die cut or stamp over the top for a very, very gorgeous sympathy card. Here's another one that I've used but have not shared the card yet, so I can only share a little bit of it, but this is the Asian floral stencil. This is another one that's going to be great for those backgrounds. Really versatile. You could do tone on tone. You can go really bold with it. You could do different colors. A lot of different things you could do with this. I absolutely love the versatility of this stencil right here. I used it on a background with some black ink through it. Again, can't share the whole card with you because it hasn't been released yet, but it will be released on the Imagine channel. I'll add it to my Imagine videos playlist once it's released, and that will be over on my YouTube channel. This is another one I've already used. This is a stunning stencil. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use it when I first seen it, but it's gorgeous. It makes for a great scene on a card. It's going to make for just a really great background. I would even do a very subtle background with this, very light greens and browns on this to make a nice subtle background as well. But for the card I've already done, I did another scene with this where I did a light blue background, then ink blended through the stencil. Super easy to do. Really, really just a nice background. I did a prayers sentiment on this, but it would be great for maybe a masculine birthday card even, or another sympathy card because it is such a nice background. The next couple of stencils have some ocean vibes to them. This is called Gulf Coast Creatures. That was a mouthful. But again, 6x6 version and 12x12. This is one where I can see me using both of these size stencils. The 6x6 is going to be great for creating backgrounds. It's really versatile to do that with. However, the 12x12 has the larger images. It's going to be great for making really large focal points. So like that lobster, have you ever heard the quote, like, you're my lobster? Well, that would be something that I would do maybe on a Valentine card or an anniversary card, just something like that where you can really go to town and make those nice bold focal points with the 12x12. This is another one that's going to be great for that. This is the Gulf Coast Flora stencil, and again, the 12x12 version is going to be great for making really large focal points, making really textured backgrounds. Or you can go with the 6x6 version. You can again make focal points, but maybe like on smaller die cuts with that, or build up all of these different images to create a nice fun background. Now moving on to the next stencil. I love the name of this one. It's called Bessie. It's number 869. This is another one that's going to be great for that scene making. Iowa has a lot of cows. It has a lot of corn too, but cows are also very prevalent driving around in Iowa, so this is a fun one for me where I live. It fits great, the 6x6 on a card, and I could see just tracing out this stencil, doing a very fun line drawing with it, and you could leave it or color it in. Now moving on to the next stencil, this is number 870, and this is called Fir Branch. I've already used this stencil in my card making, and I will leave that video linked down below. I did some ink blending with the smaller one on a card background, A2 in size, and added gilding flakes just to certain areas of it. A lot of fun to use gilding flakes with your stencil. Again, that information is all going to be down in the description box where you can find it in that video. But this is a great one for the upcoming winter months. I know it's going to get a lot of use in my craft room. So the next stencil is number 871, and this is called Native Star. This is such a fun one. You're going to want to add some texture to your backgrounds with this, but this is another one that's going to be really fun with the color bursts from Ken Oliver, which has partnered with the Crafters Workshop. You can get groups of 3 colors that coordinate so well together. I'll leave a link to those down below in the description box where you can find them on scrapbook.com. Super fun to play around with, especially with those stencils. Now the next one is Heart Fern. This is going to be great for a lot of texture on your background. So the whole heart does not fit on an A2 card. You could bump up your size easily, go with the 5x7, then it's going to fit. However, I would just use like half of it on the stencil, kind of have the overhang off the edge with the 6x6, or on this 12x12 on a smaller card, I would just pick and choose different images from that to go in and do some either coloring or ink blending on my card that way and use those larger images. The next is a mandala stencil. It is the orb mandala. These are super fun to use and very versatile. I love making textured backgrounds with this. I love to just draw them out with a very fine line black pen and use that as my background. Very versatile. You could use the color bursts with these. You could do individual ink blendings on the different sections. Again, a lot of different things you can do with these, and they're very versatile. I mean, you can use them on birthday, anniversary, all different kinds of cards. Now, this next one is called Poppy Grid. I like this one for quilted looking backgrounds. And because it's not so structured, it's not completely flat, those lines in there, you could easily do some ink blending on this stencil or dab your ink pads over this, flip it over, layer it on top of the cardstock for a very rustic look. Now the next one is called Pine Needle Print. This is another one that's going to be great for that ink blending or stamping on the stencil, spritzing it with some water and laying it on the cardstock. It is so unique, this stencil. It's got that open edge, so you could easily pop your cardstock through that edge, use the open border on that. You don't even have to use the solid lines on the outside. Really, really versatile. This one I know is going to be probably the most used out of this release. This is the Screen View stencil. This is one of those stencils that's going to look great on all your backgrounds when you just have a plain white background, you don't know what to do. This is going to be the one I grab for, just like that plaid fringe stencil. Only where that one is like perfect squares, this one is not. So you have a lot more playroom with your design with this. I also love the scallop borders on both the 6x6 and the 12x12. So that does it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the look at this new release from the Crafters Workshop. I will leave links to everything I mentioned down below, including all the stencils. So don't forget to head down to the description box. Thanks for watching and happy crafting.